Hello, it's Francesca. This is my very first bullet journaling video. So if you have any tips for what you would like to see or how to make this video and others better, definitely comment below. I'm using my Leuchttrum journal and I just have a regular lead pencil. And then my little eraser here, and then if you notice the journal, it's actually gridded, it's not dotted, and I think I prefer it that way. I've never used the dotted one, but we'll see for future journals. I have invested in Tombow pens. They're not extremely expensive, but they're definitely an investment. I will link the packs. They're from 3 different packs, and I'll link them down below so that you can kind of see what colors I used. And then I also cut out some pieces of cardstock. I actually got it from Joann Fabrics. You can get it at Michael's as well. It's in the little dollar section, and I thought this would be a cute way to add some color, to kind of give more dimension and texture onto the pages. So that was just a little fun touch. And then of course I have my washi tape. And so this is my March page. I just doodled it really quick, and actually shout out to my friend Callie. She colored it very pretty. And so that's kind of just my theme for the entire month, is just random flowers and leaves and very green with some accents of color. This is my monthly calendar spread, and if you notice, I don't have March on here anywhere, and I just feel like putting the title March is excessive, because the page before it says March already, and I already know what month it is, so I didn't feel the need to put it on here. And as you see, I'm just highlighting like where I'm going to put the number, just to pull it out a little bit. And then I used my washi tape on the top and drew or wrote the days of the week. And I actually really like that. And the next page that you'll see, I actually did that one first before the calendar page. And so you'll see later on a recurring theme to write the dates or the days of the week on the washi tape. I also have my black Tombow pen there, and it's a brush pen, and I am still getting used to using brush pens, and because they write very differently, so just getting used to it. I am working on my calligraphy as well. I'm trying to stay away from faux calligraphy, but it's a work in progress. And I'm just kind of noticing now that on camera, the really light green that I used to highlight the numbers, it looks like a yellow highlighter, but I promise it's not. It's just really bright green. And it's a little bit hard to see, and I didn't do any erasing in the video just because I felt like that took a lot of time, but there are little dots in between the squares, and that's actually going to be used to divide the squares, not the lines. So the lines actually are going to be erased. And here I'm just kind of coloring in my doodles that I got inspiration from on Pinterest. Pinterest is amazing, and I just looked up flower and leaf doodles because I can't draw, and this is the very best I could do, but I'm pretty happy with it. And that's the best thing about bullet journals, is that you don't have to be perfect. As long as you're happy with it, like no one else, it's not really for anybody else. That's the real thing. And so I really just wanted to be able to show my inspiration for my bullet journaling and share it with everybody else, because I think it's an amazing tool for organizing your life. So I just wanted to share that with all of you. And as you can see, especially when I'm using the brush pen here, I'm definitely not using it correctly. I know that for a fact, but a lot of times I just use it in place of other black ink pens, just so that I can get used to with how it writes. That way I can be more comfortable with it. And so you can see here I am doing a little bit of erasing so you can see, and that's a finished product there. And for the next page, this is my first weekly spread. I don't really like this one, honestly. So again, this was the first page that I did, and then I went back and did the calendar. I originally wanted to do something like this, and I believe it was inspired by something I saw on Pinterest, but then I ended up not liking it. I did not think that I could draw a flower like this. I think it looks pretty good. But I ended up not liking it, so I did something else that you'll see later on. But otherwise, I'm just coloring everything in. I did use just regular cursive for the week names, and then I did some like little flowers next to it, and I ran into a little bit of a hiccup because I didn't know where I wanted to write the numbers of the week. So I just kind of shoved them to the side, and that was one of the things I didn't like about the design, was that I definitely needed to have like what day it was, and to see that on the weekly spread. If there's any doodle that I really like doing, it's this like spiral thing here. I do it all the time, everywhere. It's kind of my go-to doodle. So there's that page, and so this is more of the weekly spread that I'm looking for. It's a little bit like more minimalistic, and I just use a bunch of washi. Like I said before, I wrote the days of the week on them, and then I used a little cutouts of cardstock, and I wrote my schedule, my fixed schedule on there. And what I mean by that is things that I know for sure are going to be happening every single week. So like classes, if I work, things like that. And then next to it is just a blank space for other notes and such. And so this is how I am doing like my Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because that's always really awkward to put on a bullet journal. So trying to figure out the spacing for that. So again, I'm just kind of showing where those things are and what I would be writing in them. And then here is my YouTube and her campus page. What I'm showing here is just the stamps that I used. I used the Color Blocks black stamp pad, and I usually use that stuff for embossing, and I didn't do any embossing on this bullet journal, but I might do it next month. We will see. But I have a YouTube page because I'm starting to really like doing YouTube videos, and I am in college, so I really think that it would be awesome to do a bunch of college videos. I'm also in her campus, and it's for my university, and it's just an easy way to keep track of the article names and titles that I want to do, and then when they are due, because we have them due each week, and then when they get published on the online website. So if you want to go on to hercampus.com and then search STCU, St. Catherine University, and then look up Francesca, my name will be on there, and definitely look at my articles. I will leave a link below so you can just click on it and read my stuff. And this is definitely one of my favorite pages. It's the homework schedule page. And so this is essentially another calendar. And the first calendar is mainly for any events or work, anything that I'm doing outside of school. And then this one is, again, just for homework. So I have the color codes there, my little key for the classes, and then this is mainly just for obviously my homework, when things are due, any tests or quizzes that are coming up. It's just a good visual way to see the entire month and what is expected in each class. And I found this to be more effective than putting it in my weekly spreads, just so that I can see everything as a whole, because I do write at times, like in addition to like what I have to do as an assignment. If there's anything more, I'll put it in my weekly spread, but this is mainly where I put my assignments, because otherwise everything is in my syllabus. And the font that I use here, I tried to do a little bit more of like a bouncy font. I really like the way it looks. It's really cute. And so I am just putting in all the dates of the month, and then I have the days of the week at the bottom, as you see there, and that's essentially what the page looks like with the key, and just my assignments would be highlighted with whatever corresponding color that would be. So this next page is my groceries. I traced the shape of a post-it note so that I can reuse the page for my groceries from week to week. And then the next page is my tracker page. I decided that this month I would focus on a few, and then hopefully by the end of the month it would already be a habit, so I wouldn't necessarily have to track it as like intensely. That way I just continue to grow with all of my habits. So it was just a different way of tracking, and we'll see what works and what doesn't. And I left some space just in case I left anything out for the rest of the month that I wanted to try tracking, but limiting myself to 6. And I did use a little bit of faux calligraphy at the top, and then I just highlighted the titles of the little habits. And so I have lemon water, because I definitely want to be doing that a lot more, especially when I wake up. My skincare routine, working out is a huge one, and then just continuing to bullet journal. Alright, and here is my March 2018 spread. Here's my calendar. And my first weekly spread that didn't really work out. And the other ones that I'm going to continue with for the rest of the month. My YouTube and Her Campus page, homework schedule, calendar, my groceries, and my tracker list. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have any tips at all or comments, please leave it in the comments below. Thank you!